Welcome back to MinEXPO International 2024. I'm Ashley Burke and you're watching NMA TV. With me right now, I am joined by Sophie Dessart of Florence Copper. Welcome. How's the conference going for you so far?
It's going amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I want to start out by having you tell us a little bit about Florence Copper.
Yes, absolutely. I'm excited to talk about it. So Florence Copper is definitely not your traditional mining operation. If you drive past our site in Florence, you would probably not know that you are driving by a mine. We use what is called in-situ copper recovery to produce the copper. And so if you actually go out and are at our site, it basically looks like an empty field and you have a couple pieces of equipment sticking out of the ground.
Okay.
And what we do is we actually drill a series of wells, and into one of those, what we would call an injection well, we travel a lightly acidic solution. It's about on par in acidity with a household vinegar into the copper oxide zone, which is about 400 to 1200 feet below ground. That lightly acidic solution actually dissolves the copper below ground into liquid form. It becomes a part of that solution, and we pull that liquid copper-rich solution back above ground for processing, and that is in part of a conventional solvent extraction and electrowinning plant.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So yeah, it's a very unique process.
It sounds like it.
And brings a lot of environmental benefits in the sense that we aren't blasting, we aren't having to haul millions of pounds of rock, there's no open pit, there's no tailings, there's no sending workers underground. And so with that, we emit significantly less dust compared to a traditional mining operation. We also use less energy and less water. So we actually use 65% less energy and 78% less water per pound of copper produced compared to, say, a conventional open pit copper mine in Arizona.
Wow, that's amazing. So where are your operations and what's the status of the project?
Yeah, so we're located in Florence, Arizona, and we are at a very exciting point in our project operations. We've already produced over 1 million pounds of copper. That was part of a smaller scale, what we call production test facility. Basically, we did a smaller scale version of our operation to prove the safety, the effectiveness, the environmental responsibility of the in-situ copper recovery process. And we've now done that. And in September of last year, we received our final major federal permit to expand into commercial operations.
We love to hear that.
It's definitely good news for us and for the local community. And so with that, we are ramping up and under construction to expand into commercial operations, hiring a bunch of people, and expect our first copper cathode from our commercial facilities at the end of next year. And over 22 years of commercial operations, we expect to have an annual production capacity of 85 million pounds of copper per year.
That is fantastic. One thing I was hoping you could tell me a little bit about is this concept of 360 degrees of value that you all talk about.
Yes, absolutely. Creating 360 degrees of value is really a core principle of our operation. So we go beyond just wanting to create value through the copper we produce, which is obviously very important both for our everyday lives and the green energy transition, but we create 360 degrees of value by producing value through our copper, but also for our employees, for the environment, and for our local economies and community. And so with that, we are incredibly committed to investing in our local community, ensuring that people feel that they have a voice in our operations. So we've actually had over 3,220 people tour our site, so they are able to understand the in-situ copper recovery process, the benefits that we're bringing to the local community. And we also are very committed in investing in our local community, the town of Florence, Arizona, and those surrounding communities near us in Pinal County. We have a charitable foundation, the Florence Copper Community Foundation, and since 2013, we've actually given over $129,000 in grants to local nonprofits and initiatives. We have a scholarship program for local students. Just this year, we gave $11,000 in scholarships. And I would just say on a personal note, I actually live 11 minutes from our site in Florence, and all of this community giving, this community investment has been done before we reach commercial operations. So as both a representative of the company and as a resident of Florence, I'm so incredibly excited to see how we can expand our positive impact as we do reach that important milestone and move into commercial operations.
Well, it sounds like you all have already done so much, so I can't wait to hear what's next with your operations and all of the wonderful ways that you're involved in the community. But Sophie, thanks so much for coming by and talking to us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, well, stay tuned. We've still got more exciting guests. We have Ryan Sistad with Better in Our Backyard coming up next here at MinEXPO International 2024 on NMA TV.